What does GDPR mean to you? For me, I hope as a consumer it means less spam, whether that be email, phone calls, social media, etc. That's people trying to sell me insurance, people trying to sell me utilities, etc. I also hope it's going to clean up the recruitment industry. I'm here today to tell you how Pegasus are responding to GDPR. I hope you find this useful. So what is GDPR? Essentially, it's to protect you as a consumer. So it means that any organisation that engages with you, holds your data, has got to firstly get consent, secondly has got to ensure that they protect your data, don't lose it, don't have a breach is the technical term, and thirdly do not share your data without your permission. So as I say, hopefully it's going to clean up a lot of bad practice that exists in many industries, but particularly in recruitment. So what does it practically mean for recruitment, and more specifically, what does it mean for you as a candidate of various recruitment businesses? So one of the key tenets again is to only hold somebody's data for as long as the data is of use. Many recruitment businesses have data going back 10, possibly 20 years. That's hence why you get a lot of really very poor sales calls sometimes from recruitment, asking you if you're interested in an assistant role, for example, when maybe you're a director already. It's because their data is very old and they're not cleansing the data. At Pegasus, we make an active point of cleansing that data on a very regular basis, so that A, the information's up to date, and B, we ensure that you actually want to continue to hear from us. Another key principle of GDPR is that you as a consumer must know where your data is being shared. For me, one of the biggest offences within recruitment is recruitment companies blasting out people's CVs, spamming the CV out until they get a hit, and then coming back to the candidate. Pegasus never has, never will do that. Any CV of yours that we send to any client, we will expressly get your permission, first of all, tell you about the organisation, explain why we think they're a fit for you, and only once you've given us permission to send that CV will we send the CV. 100% of the time, that will never change. So that's something we're well ahead of the curve there in terms of the GDPR legislation. Many of the recruiters, many of our competitors definitely are not and don't respect your data. At Pegasus, we will always respect your data. It's probably worth me explaining what makes Pegasus different to most other recruitment businesses. Firstly, personally, I've been doing this 20 years. I absolutely believe that the reason I've been doing this long is because I've got very strong ethics in terms of the way I deal with candidates. I am always more than happy to have a conversation with you to give you some career advice, maybe give you advice around salary, maybe help you out if you've got a bit of a dilemma about what you do, whether you stay in an organisation or go. I don't always expect an immediate hit. I think one of the problems within recruitment generally is that a lot of candidates quite rightly see recruiters as cheesy salespeople. I'm always happy to have a conversation with you, and if I can help you there and then, fantastic. If it happens to be in a year's time, then again, that's totally fine. Where that creates an issue for us, having said that, is that obviously unlike a lot of other industries, let's say somebody trying to sell you car insurance, that comes around once a year, you either buy or you don't buy. With recruitment, relationships could last 5, 10, 15 years. Certainly many of my good candidate relationships go on that far. Hence why we need you to help us out by saying yes, you're happy to hear from us in the future, and probably one of the main reasons I'm doing this video now to ask for your continued support to enable us to continue to do a good job for you. So how do we protect your data? Again, a key cornerstone of GDPR is that any organisation holding your data needs to protect it. So what does Pegasus do as a business? Firstly, we store all the information on a CRM, which is a leading recruitment CRM platform. It's encrypted to military grade standards. We have two-stage authentication so that whenever we sign in, we need an app on our mobile phone that also gives us a passcode. So basically, nobody can get into that database apart from me and my staff. Secondly, any CVs that we send, as I've already explained, firstly, we get your permission before we send to any client, so you know where they're going. But we also record where that CV is going, so that should you ask in the future for your information, we can absolutely share that with you, and or indeed ask any of our clients to delete any data they hold on you, which would only be a CV. Secondly, we only hold the data that is necessary. So we keep the minimum data. If we've got a CV, your most up-to-date CV. If we don't have a CV, we'll have your mobile phone, your email, but nothing else. We won't hold data that we do not need. Should we require additional data, as an example, if you're getting an offer and one of our clients needs a passport, then we'll take a scan of your passport, we'll facilitate that. But as soon as we've done with that, whether you accept or decline the job, we'll then get rid of the passport, we'll delete it. We no longer need that information. Again, I think a lot of recruitment consultancies hold unnecessary data on you. Pegasus gives you the assurance that we will not do that. So hopefully, you've probably dealt with me or Pegasus for a long time, but hopefully this video has also explained further why we're different, we're consultative. We'll always tell you the advice you need to hear, maybe not what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. And we'll always absolutely guarantee we do nothing, zero, with your data unless you give us express permission to do so. In order for us to continue that great consultative relationship that we have with you, we need you to consent that you want to hear from us post the 25th of May, and I'd be very happy to hear from you beyond that date.